General ledger.
What is general ledger?
That's the app, the application.
Okay, in general ledger where you created?
Flex fields?
Accounting flex fields.
Oh, accounting flex fields.
What do you mean by accounting flex field?
It's a key flex field.
Accounting flex field is a key flex field. Below that we created a structure called as data group structure. This structure will have what? May have what?
Segments.
How many segments you see?
3.
What are there?
Company, department, accounts.
Now for every segment what we assign?
They're enabled and they're displayed.
For every segment we give segment numbering. For every segment we also given the value set. For every segment numbering we gave, and also we also assign what? We also assign the value set. What is the importance of assigning the value set to the segment?
Because that controls the properties of the data and the number of segment values that segment can have.
Yes. For every segment, what else you need to assign apart from the value set, apart from giving segment numbering?
What does that say?
Apart from giving the segment numbering and apart from giving the value set to the segment, what else we require to assign? Value set we assigned, segment numbering we gave. Apart from these two, what else we require to do?
Create the segment values.
For every segment, we also require to give the qualifier, right? Flex field qualifiers. The other day we discussed, right?
Yeah,
for company, we give qualifier called as what? For company?
Balancing.
For department, we give qualifier called as cost center.
Yeah.
And for accounts, I believe both you started recording, right?
Yeah.
And for accounts, what is the qualifier we give? For accounts, we give natural accounts. So here,
one quick question on this flex field qualifiers. Are these always must? Do we need to
yes.
assign a qualifier to segment each and every time?
Yes. Yes. But there is no any rule like that. Every segment should have qualifier. You can also have segment without any qualifier.
Okay, okay. Okay. And what exactly is flex field qualifier? What does it say?
We'll see.
Pardon me?
We'll see. That's what we are trying to discuss, right?
Okay, okay.
Now, how many minimum segments are needed?
2.
Maximum?
30.
30.
What are minimum?
Pardon me?
What are the minimum? When I talk about minimum, what are the minimum?
Company and accounts.
Company are 2 are minimum. Now, gentlemen, for company, I given a qualifier called as balancing. Why should I give balancing? What is the importance of giving this qualifier? What is the purpose of giving this qualifier? We'll try to understand. Try to understand. I am doing my business. I started my business about a year back. I am doing my business and I got a profit of, let's say example, 25 lakhs. When I got a profit of 25 lakhs, what is my responsibility towards government?
Tax.
Sorry?
A tax.
You pay the tax to government. You didn't file a tax. What will happen? Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen till what time? Till tax authorities come to know that you didn't file a tax. once they come to know that you didn't file a tax, what will happen?
They'll
They'll
audit.
give you gold medal.
Not
They won't
in
give a
US
gold
side.
medal. They'll collect the tax from you. They'll collect the tax from you. They will collect what you call penalty from you. Penalty and tax will be almost all, you see, 1/4 of the what you call profit you need to lose. Is it not?
Yep.
Now, I got company 1, I got company 2, I got company 3. I got 3 companies. Every company got 5 departments. Every company got 5 departments. Company 1 got 5 departments. Company 2 got 5 departments. Company 3 also as well as got 5 departments. So every company got 5 departments. D1, D2, D3 like that. For this also D1, D2. So here you see, when tax authorities they come for what you call write your business and you not paid the tax. So they are not worried about the performance of each and every department. You got 5 departments with you. Every company got 5 departments. They are never worried about the performance of each department. What they are worried about? They are worried about overall this company is in a profit or losses. Yes, company 1 is in a profit. Company 2 is in loss. Again, company 3 is in profit. So here you see this company in a profit, you need to file a tax. This company is in a losses, you may or you may not. Whereas this 3 again is a profit, you need to file a tax. So here you see they are not worried about the performance of the departments. Departments are part of the company. Departments are the part of company, and you see the overall balance sheet will be prepared on company wise. Let's say example, Harish, otherwise if not Harish, Harsha, if not Harsha, Sukumar would like to invest money to buy my business. Then what you guys will ask me? You'll ask me, Sai, what is your assets? I say my assets is about 95 lakhs. How much is that? 95 lakhs. Then you people will ask me, assets is 95 lakhs or 90 lakhs. Then you'll ask me, sir, Sai, what is your liability? I say that my liability is about 95. So will you go and invest or not? Because my assets are 90, my liabilities are 95. My liabilities are more than the assets which I own. So you will think twice, you will think thrice before you go and invest money into my business. Why? Because my liabilities are more than the assets. So you are indirectly asking what? You are asking my assets position and liabilities position, which is nothing but again balance sheet. So here you see in India, every quarter or half-yearly or yearly, companies like Wipro, companies like TCS, Infosys, what they do, they declare their financial strength. How they declare? They declare by their balance sheet. So they say that Satya Mahindra, they never what you call disclose like what? Satya Mahindra HR department profit, Satya Mahindra hardware department profits, Satya Mahindra IT profits. Like that, they won't declare department by department. What they declare? They declared overall performance of the company. So here you see they declare what? Satya Mahindra profits. That's it. They don't declare by department by department. So end of the discussion, what I would like to tell you is I would like to tell you basically balances is prepared at company level. Which level? Balance sheet is prepared at company level. So that is the reason for the company, what is the qualifier we give? For company, the qualifier we give is balancing. Here you see balancing. This attribute used to identify the balancing segment. This typically the company segment. So that is the reason for the company segment what we give in Tata Group, for company segment what we give balancing. This is typically what? It's typically company segment. Clear or not, gentlemen? So
Yes.
you asked me what you mean by the qualifier. The qualifier basically determines what? Determines the behavior of the segment. The segment behavior is controlled by the flex field qualifier. You see, value set is what? Value set only talks about tomorrow how many segment values you can create. But what is this qualifier talks about? The actual behavior of the segment controlled by the flex field qualifier. The actual behavior, the actual, what do you call, the segment behavior controlled or determined by the qualifier. Then coming to department, the qualifier we are going to give is what? Cost center. What is that? Cost center. Why cost center? What do you mean by that? So you see, within the company, what we'll have? Departments. Here, try to understand. Here I got some department called as, let's say example, I got sales department. I got service department. I got purchase department. And I got marketing. Marketing or advertisement department. So here try to understand sales department, service department. You see, one department, when you sell material, what will happen? You gain. When you do service for someone, you gain. When you purchase material, you spend money. That means you are not going to gain this case. You are going to lose some money. You are going to spend money. Is it not? For marketing also, what will happen? You spend some money. You lose some money. Whereas you see service department or sales department, what will happen? You gain money. You get money. You get money. So here you see costs are being gained, costs are being spent. So here sales department, costs are being gained, service department, you are going to get the cost. Whereas purchase department, you spend. What do? You spend the money. So to purchase the raw material, you spend money. To purchase the finished goods, you need to spend the money. You want to do marketing and advertisement, you spend money. So cost centers are where? Cost centers are what? Cost centers are those where actually the activity takes place. What is it? Cost centers are those where actually the activity takes place. That means like sales activity you gain, service activity you gain, so purchase you spend, marketing you spend. So where actually all these are the departments where actually the activity takes place. Followed or not? That is the reason departments are called as cost centers. One department you gain the cost, one department you spend the cost. Gain cost, spend the cost. Followed or not?
Yeah.
Harsha?
Yeah, followed.
Coming to accounts. Accounts we are going to give natural accounts segment qualifier. And what is this natural account segment qualifier will have? Natural account segment qualifier will have so here you see natural account segment qualifier got information about what? It got information about accounting categories such as expense, revenue, assets, liability and ownership. So here you see what is all these are accounting categories. These categories I am not giving it one by one. Expense to this account segment. Accounts is what segment? So I am not assigning expense, what do you call, category to accounts and again revenue category to accounts, asset category to accounts, and liability category to accounts, ownership category. One by one I am not in a position to give. Then what you are giving the natural account segment. Here you see for accounts, I put my cursor on accounts, I go to qualifier. For accounts what you are giving, here you see Tata Group structure. For account segment, here you see what you are giving, natural account segment you are giving. What you are giving? Natural account segment you are giving. Once you are giving this natural account segment qualifier for accounts, what will happen? Here you see when you give these natural accounts to accounts, what will happen? This natural account segment qualifier got information about what? Information about accounting categories such as what? Expense, revenue, asset, liability and ownership. So all these categories will get assigned automatically to accounts segment. But what is happening here? You are not giving category by category to account segment. But what you are giving? You are giving the natural account. Once you give the natural account segment qualifier, what will happen? This qualifier will ensure that all categories will get assigned to account segment. Able to follow?
Yeah.
Shall we go further?
Yes, sir.
So for every segment, here I gave qualifier, but there is no any rule like that. For every segment, you must have qualifier. But make sure that we have here 6 qualifiers are there. But out of 6, first 3 are mandatory. Balancing is mandatory. Cost center is mandatory, which we give to department. Balancing we give to company. Natural accounts is we give to accounts. But make sure that the first 3 must be used, should be used. Whereas these 3 depends upon the requirement. You may use it or you may not use it. Not compulsory. You do transaction between 2 different companies. That time you see intra-company account, intra-company segment also you can use. Anyway, I am going to give some idea about these 3 later, not at this stage. Let us understand the first 3, which is mandatory, compulsory. Is this clear, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Now you see, for every segment, I give qualifier. Then after doing all this, last class what we done, we gave segment name, same window from system copied, segment numbering we gave. For every segment we gave value set. Apart from value set, today what we gave, last class also we discussed the same thing. For company we gave qualifier called as balancing, department cost center, accounts we give natural accounts. After doing all this activity, come back to the main page where actually we started our work. We started our work here where in general ledger under accounting flexfield, we created the structure called as what? Tata Group structure. What is it? It is a Tata Group structure. Where you created in general ledger under accounting flexfield, the structure got created. We went to segments. We done all that activity. So come back to the main page where actually you started your work. Come back here. After coming back here, what you require to do? You need to lock it. Can you see here? There is something called as freeze. Freezing is nothing but what? Freezing is nothing but locking. Why you want to lock? For security purpose. I want to lock the structure. I don't want you. I don't want someone else go and make the changes in my structure. I want to protect my structure. I want to freeze my structure. So here you see there is something called as what? Freeze. Whenever you go out of your house, whenever you move out of your house, what you do? You try to freeze the house. You try to lock the house. So here also I would like to freeze my structure. Freezing is needed. Before you go to next step, the freezing is compulsory. You are not supposed to go to next step without freezing it. Compulsory freeze it, then only you can go to next step. So here you see I'm about to freeze it, but before freezing, other day we discussed about segment separators. What were the separators I talk about? We discussed about dash. You remember the separators? Dash can be one separator. Dot can be one separator. Gentlemen, you remember the separators?
Yes, sir.
Yes, right.
Other day we discussed C1, D1, D1, E1. What is all this?
Yeah, the codes, segment codes.
These called as just codes. But here you see, when I'm going to combine these codes, what is it? code combination. Between code combination, what is there? Segment separator. What is it? Segment separator. So here you see what is the separator that you want to use. I want to use dash, pipe, period. Period is nothing but dot. And one more is what? Custom. What is it? Custom. Custom, you see, you can put your own symbols like what at the rate. You can put your own symbols like what equal sign. You can put these separators. Now anyway, I am going to use a predefined one, that is dash, and here you see allow dynamic inserts. What is it? Allow dynamic inserts. What is the use of this? What is the implication of this? When I go to step number 6, I will tell you. Currently we are discussing only step number 2. You need to cross 3, 4 and 5, then we'll come to step number 6. That day we'll see what is the importance of this allow dynamic inserts. But as of now, before you freeze it, before you lock it, what you require to do, you select the separator, one of this, enable allow dynamic inserts. You are not happy with the 3 separators, go with custom, where you can able to put your own symbol. The user defined symbol is called as what? Custom. Anyway, I'm going to go with dash. I'm going to enable one option called as allow dynamic inserts. What is the importance of this? What do you call allow dynamic inserts? What is the use of this? When I go to step number 6, that time we focus. Then you see, after enabling these 2 options, then what do you do? Go with what? Freeze. Freeze is nothing but what? Lock. What is it? Lock. But make sure that lock your own structure. Don't lock other structures. So I'm going to put the cursor here, selected the separator, selected the dynamic, I go with freeze. The moment I go with freeze, it is not going to give any error message, gentlemen. It is not at all error message. It is a caution message. What is the caution it is giving? Please go through the caution, read the caution, please yourself. Try to understand, please. Read it twice or thrice. You are not going to lose your health, please, my promise. Read it twice or thrice. Yes, gentlemen, what do you follow?
So it's saying that after this point, if you make any segment definition changes, then your data, existing data may not be valid anymore because you change the definition. So before you go any further, you make sure that the segment definitions are accurate.
So what it is asking basically, gentlemen, Mr. Sai, you are comfortable with the 3 segments or you want to have more segments? Whatever the number of segments that you want to have, please decide now itself. Tomorrow, after going little advanced stage, maybe little advanced stage, you see you should not come back, and you should not come back and say that, hey, it would be good if I would have this more segments, like 4 and 5 segments also. You know what system is saying is, it's saying very clearly, Baba, you decide how many number of segments you want. So tomorrow you come back and adding more segment. You want, and today you lock it, today you freeze it, everything is done. Tomorrow you come back, you unlock it, you reopen it, no issues. But unlocking and making the changes in the future, what will happen is the existing structure, whatever is there, there are chances that the existing structure may get corrupted. Oracle is not saying, hey Harsha, Sukumar, you are unfreezing it, you are making changes later, oh, your structure is gone. Like that they are not saying. What they are saying, making and unfreezing and making the structure later stage could affect. What do you mean by could affect? May or may not. They are not saying that. You are making changes, oh, you're gone. They're never saying that. Followed?
Yeah.
Harsha?
Yeah, followed, Sai.
The number of segments that you want to have, decide now. 3, 4, 5, for a business you do analysis, understand, and how many segments you want. That will not be decided by one person, that won't be decided by 2 people, that will be decided by the team, based on the business, pharma business, textile business. But generally any business, commonly you will have these 3, company, department, accounts. There may be business, which business got spread across regions within India. That time you may have one more segment called as region segment. Like within the region, you may have north region, east region, west region, south region, like that. You may have one more segment called as region. That there can be possibility of more segments. My example, you see, 3 segments we have. Clear or not? Today you feel like 3 segments. Think twice before you freeze it. You feel everything is okay. No more you are going to add in the future. That time you freeze it. Once you freeze it, you get a message. Unfreezing and making the changes in the future could affect the validity of the existing data. What do you mean by validity of the existing data? There are chances the existing structure may get corrupted, could affect. It is saying very clearly in their own terminology, could affect. You read the what you call last but one line. Unfreezing and making the changes could affect. What do you mean by could affect? May. Oracle is not saying, hey, you are changing, gone. They are not saying that. Unfreezing, making changes could affect. May affect. May or may not. Sorry, sure? I say, okay, I'm very sure. Now by default, you see, compile button down, you see, by default it won't be enabled. By default it won't be enabled. Here you see by default it is disabled. Once you freeze it, now you see this compile button will get enabled. I'll go with what? Compile. The moment I say compile, you see here you get a message, compiling flex field definition. It is about to compile the definition. So it is about to compile. Once it is going to compile successfully, it will come back and give the message, what? Compiled successfully. So if it is not compiled successfully, also it is going to come down with error message, compiled with errors. So let us see. Compiling, it is going to say, you say okay. The flex field compiled, you see the flex field compiled successfully. You should get this message. Once you get this message, then there is no issues in your structure. Everything went well. System is going to thoroughly check your structure. How many segments you have, what is the segment number you gave, what is the value set you assigned, what is the qualifier you assigned. It is going to check internally thoroughly. Then everything found okay, you get a success message. Clear or not? Now tomorrow when you go to interview, they may ask you, hey gentlemen, have you created the structure? Yes, I created the structure. What is the name of the structure? Some XYZ structure I created. Where the structure information is available. Where the chart of accounts information is available. The structure information or chart of accounts information is available in a table. Which table is that? The table name called as GL underscore code underscore combination underscore KFE. This is a table or a view where the structure information is being stored or where the structure information is available. Down you see transaction completed, one record uploaded and saved. So with this what we done? We done value set, we done structure and segments we done. Then what is next?
Ledger.
What? Sorry?
Ledger.
Oh my God, ledger दूर की बात है.
Okay.
Now we require to create segment values. We just created a value set and we created what we call structure then segments. We require to go with what? Third step, that is step number 3 is segment values. Okay, I'll ask you something again. What is general ledger? Application. Yeah. Accounting flex field. Key flex field. Below this, structure. This structure got what? Segments. Company, department, accounts. You need to freeze it, then you need to compile it. Before freezing, make sure that select the separator, select this option, freeze it and compile it. Now let me go with segment values. This is a navigation. Below segments you see values. This is a navigation to create the segment values. Now it is going to ask you application. What is application? You can take a list here. You see we have ... Here you have a list. You're a good typing master. You can also type this. General ledger. Title, accounting flex field. Below that, what is the structure we created? Tata. Below that, structure Tata. We got 3 segments, company, department, accounts. Now initially I take company, I go with fine. Company I selected, I go with fine. Then for company, I am going to type C001. C001. Will it take or not?
No,
Why?
because the length is 3. In the value set,
The value C001 is longer than the maximum length of 3 characters, because in the value set we give, right? But why it is firing here? Because the value set is being assigned to the segment. The value set is being assigned to the segment, and segment will behave as per the value set. Can I give 001?
yeah,
I am going to give C01, Tata Steels, Tata Textiles, Tata Motors, Tata Telecom, Tata Bearings. So down you see transaction completed, 5 records uploaded and received. So at any point of the time you can come back and you can add values. Don't think only 5 values you can create. How many values you can create?
infinite.
Yes, character with size 3, no min val, no max val. You can go and create infinite. Now you see, in order to go to previous window, what I will do here, you see there is something called as window. Window then 3. Or you also got shortcut key. Alt plus W plus 3. You want to know what is the shortcut keys, you can say Control plus K. Control plus K, you will get all shortcut keys. Control plus K. Here you can say window, go to window 3, which will take you to previous window. When it is going to take you to previous window, you should be little careful, you should be little smart. Put the cursor on the top. Put the cursor on the top, tab, tab, tab. Now change it to what? Department. Don't put here directly, don't change it please. Don't be crazy, don't be lazy, be crazy. Okay, don't change directly here. Don't put here, don't directly change it here. Put the cursor here on the top. Put the cursor on the top, tab, tab, tab. By default company was there, change it to what? Department. Now I'm going to give fine. Now here for department I'll give C01. Will it allow or not?
Yes,
Sorry?
yes, I.
On what basis you can say yes?
Well, it's
Same
because
C01 I give.
yeah, because well, in the value set, it's just defined as 3 characters, and
But
I'm
C01
assuming
is
that-
already been used, right? C01 is already been created for the company, right?
okay. So it's,
Will it
it
allow
has
you
to
or
be
not?
unique then.
For company we gave what? C1, C2,
C01.
C3, C4, we gave all this. Baba, understand here. Company, department, accounts, if you are going to see the 3 segments, when I take a list here, right side you see. What is the right side? You see independent. We created a value set with a validation type independent. We created what value set? Tata Group company value set, Tata Group department value set, Tata Group account value set. For all the 3 character size 3, 3, 3, and I don't know whether you remember or not. Down bottom we got a validation type called as what? Validation type called as independent. All the 3 are independent. Company is independent from department and department is independent from accounts.
Accounts.
So now if I go and take department, if I go and give again C01, yes, it will definitely take, it won't give any error message, it won't stop you, it won't trouble you. But for our understanding, don't give that, otherwise you will get confused. You go to C01, sorry, D01, finance department. D02, D03, D04, D05, so if the question comes, can I give C1, C2, C3 and like that? Yes, you can definitely give. But question comes, will you give? I won't give. Why? Because you will get unnecessarily get confused. So you are clear with that validation? You remember that validation or not, both of you?
Yes, sir.
Acha?
Yes.
Right. Now again window 3, put the cursor on the top, say tab, 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 accounts. Don't put directly here, please. Put the top, tab, 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 change it to accounts. By default department was there. Change it to what accounts, then go with what? Fine. For accounts, you see I'm going to type E01. I name it as what? Rent. E02, I name it as what? Salary. E03, I name it as what? Purchase. R01, I name it as what? I01, I name it as sales. R02, I name it as what? Commission received. R03, I name it as what? Interest received. Then I say A01, plant and machinery. A02, land and building. A03, cash. L01, bank loan. L02, creditors. L03, bills payable. Then I say O01, capital. Then I say M01, retained earnings. M02, I say suspense account. M03, I say rounding difference. M04, I say translation adjustment account. M05, I say reserve for encumbrance. So I created about 18 accounts. Now tell me, gentlemen, E01 is the rent. Rent is income or expenditure that we are paying. We are paying rent to someone. It's income or expenditure.
Expenditure.
You know that it's expenditure for sure.
Yeah.
I also know for sure. But how my system will know it's an expenditure or income or revenue?
No idea.
Yes, Harsha?
The questions I actually.
My question was what? How my system will know it's income or expenditure or revenue or asset? E01, E01 is rent. Rent we are paying to someone. My question was very simple. It is income or expenditure?
It's an expense.
You know that it's expense for sure?
Yes. We are paying it to
I
someone.
also know,
Right?
yes. For me also it's very clear. Even Sukumar also it's very clear. You are paying expense is a, you are paying someone rent, it's expense. But how my system will know that's income or expenditure or revenue or asset or what is what?
There has to be a qualifier.
You say tab, 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 tab. Move on to right. Here you see there is something called as qualifier. When you go to qualifier, first two, last two don't touch at this stage. Account type is very important, mandatory field. Account type you can see either it can be either expenses, Either it can be revenue or it can be asset, it can be liability or ownership. Budget here, it is related to budgets. Don't worry about this as of now. Now you see it is what? Expense. By default, anytime you see, by default, anytime it would be expense. If it is expense, what do you say? Okay. Because it is expense only. Salary, you pay salary to the staff. By default, anytime you see expense, you say okay. Purchase is also expense. Okay. Sales is a revenue. Go there, change it to what? Revenue. Commission received is also revenue. Interest received is also revenue. So here if you are going to see what is this qualifier here, we are giving qualifier, that's okay, but what is the name of the qualifier? So this qualifier we call it as what? Segment qualifier. Here you see what is the heading like? Segment qualifier. We already discussed about half an hour back some qualifiers. What was those qualifiers?
Those were flex field qualifiers.
What is this qualifier?
This is the segment qualifier which applies to.
What is the difference between the flex field qualifier and segment qualifier?
I think the flex field qualifier applies at the segment level, and
Okay.
this one, the segment qualifiers applies to the segment values.
Excellent, excellent. That's it. So flex field qualifiers you generally assign to segments. Flex field qualifier for what? For segments. And segment qualifier for what? Segment qualifier for segment values. Now you may ask me for company and department. Yes, for company and department, no segment qualifiers are needed. Segment qualifiers are must for account segment. So that is the reason that to account type is very important. So here you see for R01, R03, we give revenue. Then A01 is asset. You can select asset. Bank loan, not bank loan, land and buildings, asset. Cash, asset. Bank loan, liability. Creditors, liability. Bills payable, liability. Capital, it's O01. This ownership equity is called as capital. Retained earnings will be again ownership. What is retained earnings? What is suspense account? What is rounding? What is translation? We are going to discuss in detail in another 3-4 days. Suspense account. Asset I take. It can be the asset or liability. Rounding can be expense, can be revenue. Translation can be asset, can be revenue, can be ownership. I take expense. Reserve for encumbrance can only be ownership. So give all these accounts for account segment, go with save. Down you see transaction complete, 18 records applied and saved, because we give 18 values. For company 5 values, for department 5 values, for accounts we give 18 values. So that is the reason transaction complete, 18 records applied and saved. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So what all we done till now?
We started with a review of a flex field qualifier.
What all we done today? I'm not asking. Overall, what all we done till now?
Oh,
Flex fields, accounting flex fields,
Till
segment.
today, what all we done till today? Not only today's class.
Yeah, that's
Till
what I'm saying.
today class. Tell me.
That's what I'm saying. We have done flex fields, accounting flex fields, segments, segment values, flex field qualifiers, segment qualifiers, value set, separators.
What we done is till now we done is only chart of accounts.
Yeah, chart
Just
of
now
accounts.
chart of accounts got completed. How can you say value set we done, structure we say segments we done. Structure is a Tata Group structure, segments is company department account segments. So value set we done, structure and segments we done, then we done what? Segment values. Structure, so before that value set, structure and segments, then segment values. So what we done till now is we just done with only chart of accounts. So what we need to focus is, we need to focus on the currency. Currency will take about 10 minutes class, calendar will take about 40 minutes class, 30 to 40 minutes class. Then with that our 3 C's will be ready. Conversion, as I told you that we are going to see exactly mid of the course. With the 3 C's, we are going to, once it is complete, then we can go and create the lecture. And how to create lecture, we'll see in the next class. Not lecture actually, we are going to do with currency, then we'll go with calendar. Tomorrow we'll complete currency as well as calendar. If possible, I'll give idea about creation of the lecture. Then we'll try to create the lecture within 2-3 days. Then we are going to see how to pass the business data.
Sai,
Yes.
Sai, one other quick question. Do we also, do we also learn how to make the B15 document or?
What is that? Basic?
B15 document, yes.
No, I'm not going to show you all that. That comes under in Oracle application advanced course. Advanced course, that is implementation course. I am going to give in my course the basic, what you call, not basic actually. See, I'm going to cover general lecture. I'm going to give purchasing idea. Purchasing is not part of financials, but still I'm going to give purchasing idea because it is basically integrated to payables. This is what I'm going to cover, Sukumar. So this is what we are going to cover.
So is there anything beyond this? Like actually, I'm not familiar with the B15 document. So
this is the course actually. This is a course to learn Oracle application. You want to know B15 only. With learning B15 you can't do anything. We got about 10 documents you need to understand, and apart from the 10 documents, you want to what you call get yourself comfortable in the job. You need to do Oracle application advanced course where you will be understanding something called as upgradation. There will be something called as upgradation projects. You will understand upgradation project. And you'll be understanding something called as localization. implementation, advanced process. You should know supporting, support consultant tasks. Should be knowing testing. So all this you need to know. You are doing some Oracle Advanced course. So you can able to do all this only when you understand this.
Yeah, and after this course, can't we at least, able to cover at least few of them, or maybe just give an overview of them?
You see, Harsha, this is not my job, but still I am giving you purchasing. If I go commercially, my job is only general ledger, payables, receivables, fixed assets, cash management. My job will end here only. System administration, I am not supposed to teach you. Why a financial consultant do with system administration? I am going to cover system administration, multi-org setups. I am giving you the project overview also, along with the project, how will be the real-time project. And I am going beyond this one. But after going beyond this one, again you expect me to go further. This will take again nothing less than 50 to 20 classes. And I am familiar only up to this, and I am familiar with only up to this level. Updation, localization, I never worked on these two aspects. Generally, I will assign all this to one of my colleague who actually do all this. This guy is situated in Chennai, and if you are interested, after the course we can negotiate with it directly without crescent, involving crescent in between. We can negotiate. We can learn directly from him.
Okay, and what about advanced collections? Does it also come into? Does it not come into the course, or?
Financial core modules. This is a core financial module. Payable is a core financial module. Fixed assets is a core financial module. Receivables is a core financial module. And cash management is a core financial module. Everything you talk about, these 5 are not financial modules. There is some other financial modules. These are called as 5 core financial modules. Any financial consultant, you say that tomorrow you go as a financial consultant, they will make sure that you are going to comfortable with these 5 or not.
Okay. Okay. All right, Sai. Do you know anyone who teaches advanced collections and all?
Collection related to what?
Advanced collections, Oracle Advanced Collections.
Let me just check and let you know.
Okay. All right, Sai.
Because you see, there is a guy is actually works. Every guy works in one particular area. Throughout my career, I was working on implementation, support, and testing. As I told you that I was never working on this upgradation or localization. So there's a few people who works only on these 2 areas, may not be these areas. And you try to focus on only financial areas, don't focus on any other areas. Because finally, should not land up like, here there is a trend going, people are asking about even order management also. Now why a financial consultant will go and prepare sales order?
Okay.
Okay, chalo gentlemen, catch you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Harsha.
All right, Sai.
Bye.
The organizer has ended the